Good morning. Well, I am headed to West Texas. I bought myself a film camera and some film and a class to learn how to develop that film. And I'm going to go be like Ansel Adams and take pictures of the mountains of West Texas or wherever he went. I don't know where, but I'm taking them in West Texas. They may not be the closest mountains, but there's something about West Texas that it's just good for the soul. So that's where I'm headed. If y'all have any music suggestions, send them my way. I'm gonna have a good day. Well, this is the start of a journey. I am headed to West Texas. It's been quite a start to the year, and usually I get away for a couple of days at the beginning of January, but I didn't do that this year, and I can feel it in my spirit. I need some adjustment, so I'm headed to West Texas by myself with, well, not by myself, Elmo's going with me, and I have some time of reflection. Honestly, I was a mess the past 2 days. I mean, just crying like crazy and just really just having a hard time. But, and I thought about going to West Texas. I was like, oh, it's just, I need the fresh, like, to just unplug. And West Texas, you unplug because, well, there's just not much there. The service, no, yeah. It's beautiful. It's so good for the soul. Highly recommend. I went to bed last night and it's like, if I don't feel good, then I'm not gonna go. But when I was thinking that and like praying over it, I was like, I'm gonna go. And I just felt such a peace about going to West Texas. And it's probably because it was the place I have some of my best memories, the memories that I tell people. It was where we went as kids, and that was our vacation because my dad hunted and my grandparents had land there in Terlingua, and we would go and spend a week, or actually I don't really know, it seemed like we spent a lot of time there, and there's just so many memories. Memories of climbing mountains and sliding down the mountain, and my grandmother looking up and seeing a whole group of us kids sliding down this hill on rocks, which could have been a rock slide. But we made it. We lived. And I don't know. I think I'm going just because I want to be close to my grandmama. And she left West Texas, so I'm going to West Texas. Uncle, I'm very grateful for uncles. We made it. Our little home. Oh, so cute. I found these in the fridge. Fresh eggs. So I made it to Tin Camp out in Terlingua, Texas. I am here by myself and Elmo. Elmo's right here. See Elmo? There's Elmo. It is a very, very quiet place. It's about 40 minutes from actually the town of Terlingua. But it is in Terlingua. So, am I saying that right? I don't know. It's so quiet that you can hear your heartbeat. And that's nice. If you never heard your heartbeat, it's cool. Okay, yeah, I just went way off the high end. But I had a safe trip, made it here uh, with the coordinates, not GPS. So I still know how to somewhat read a map. um, yeah, y'all have a good one. I'm waiting for the stars to come out. It's so quiet here. Very nice. Very nice. I built a fire. Happy birthday to you. That's all you get because you are in a family of singers and I am not a singer. But happy birthday, Lori. It's your 50th. I think this has been the best years of my life so far. Hard, but the best. Thinking about something to share with you, and I'm actually out on a solo trip, and I started doing solo trips because of you. And so thank you for helping me to be brave. And also thank you for always being so kind and so considerate of all the people. My dad thinks you're the sweetest, and so do I. So happy birthday. I love you. Oh, you. She keeps walking back and forth, and all the other little chickens are in attention. Just sitting there watching her. So I am on a back road in Big Bend National Park, headed back home. Took the scenic route because I just like to do that, and this is literally the scenic route. I mean, I have really no clue where I'm at. I'm on a road headed to Marathon, Texas. But I got here on Wednesday, and I was just going to stay 2 nights. And I stayed 2 nights in the middle of the desert with like 2 other people around. The lady that owns the place and another couple staying there. I think there was a guy there too. But for about 100 miles, there's basically nothing, or I should say, maybe it wasn't 100 miles, but well, yeah, actually, it's about 100 miles. If you've never driven around Texas, Texas is huge, and if you come to West Texas, you're like, this is whole freaking country right here. In the Big Bend National Park, the Big Bend State Park, all this area. It's a place of its own. And if you've never been here, then you wouldn't understand the draw. But if you've ever been here, there's something about this area that just sucks you in, and it's calms your mind, your heart. And so that's what I did. I got away for a couple days because normally I do a couple days at the beginning of the year to just get away and get alone, and it was really busy January, so I didn't do that. And my husband was like, I think you need to take a trip. Not really sure what that meant, but I'm glad that he sent me away. It's been rough, and for a couple days I was I was a mess, crying all day long. There's a lot of stuff that's happened, and a lot of things we're dealing with, but nothing bad. Some of it could be, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I've learned in life, you just keep going. But I think what I was dealing with was I was missing my grandmama. And I don't know about y'all, but she was somebody just was infinite wisdom and always so calm and so kind, and quiet. But after crying for a couple days, Bart was like, oh, I think you need a time. Go. So I planned. I was trying to decide where I was going to go. I couldn't make a decision because I was such a mess. And I was like, okay, God, where should I go? And Big Bend. I'm like, okay, well, we'll make the decision tomorrow. So I went to sleep, and I was like, okay, if I'm supposed to go, actually, no, I'll go back. So that Tuesday night, I was sitting there, and that's when I felt like Big Bend was the place to go. So I booked this place. It's an Airbnb, and I booked it. Ooh, that's a big pothole. I booked it, and then because I was automatically like, oh, that's where I'm supposed to go, I felt good about it. And then I was like, oh my God, what in the hell? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I am going to a place where there's no people and I'm by myself. Am I going to be okay? I'm going to be safe. The border crisis and all this crap that's going on, you don't really know. I'm driving in a riverbed. You don't really know. But I felt a peace, and so I was like, okay, well, if I don't feel good in the morning, I am going to cancel. Well, I woke up on Wednesday morning. Honestly, the clearest headed I've been in a while. And I felt just urgency to see the dark skies of West Texas. And so I got in my car, and I headed to West Texas. And I spent just 2 nights, and really just one day, because it takes a day to get here, and it takes a day to get home from Austin area. So, yeah, it was a time of refreshing, breathing, unplugging. The Wi-Fi was really spotty. So I had a lot of time just quiet. Unfortunately, I had my Elmo, and he only growled one time, and then we went out in the middle of the night because he had to go to the bathroom. Dogs should go out of the bathroom at night in West Texas because, well, I'm not scared of the anybody coming across the border. I mean, I am in a sense, but not in this sense. I was worried about predators like lions and bears and coyotes and javelinas. Javelinas are mean as the devil. And he growled while we were out there, so we were like, whoop, I booked it back in. But I did get some, I was like, I gotta see the night skies because that was the main reason I came. So I did get some photos. We'll see how they turn out, but you know, who knows. So yeah, I came out here, sat, listened, heard my heartbeat, because that's all that the sound was in there except some birds and my heartbeat. Great time, but I'm gonna get off of here because this is just ridiculous. It's very, very bumpy. Well, I am headed back from Big Bend. I got away, Elmo and I, for a little solo trip to the desert in Terlingua, and there I stayed in a little Airbnb. It's was an Airstream in the middle of nowhere. I mean, literally, there was only 3 other people around me for miles. It was a blast. It was what I needed. I was kind of having just a tough time for a couple of days, and waking up just feeling really heavy in the head. And January I didn't get away because it was really busy. And my husband said, "You know what? You need to go. You need to go on a trip." Yeah, he did. He's the one that was like, "You need to go." So I was like, well, where do I go? I had no clue because I couldn't really think. And I was like, okay, God, where should I go? And he just dropped Big Ben in my head. And I was like, that's kind of scary. That's kind of way far out there by myself. But then I was like, why was that he spoke that into my spirit? And it's like another thought come to my head. It's because that's the happiest place I was as a child. I loved going to Big Ben. We went there when I was a kid. I had so many memories. We were wild children. We were wild. I can tell you all the wildness if you ever want to hear. But we ran through the stickers and probably barefoot, I'm sure, killing things, I don't know, we just had a lot of fun as kids. And so I went out there, and I was a little kid with a camera, and I took lots of photos. I took film photos and some with my camera, my other camera. I can't even think right now. But as I was there, there was a lady that, one of the ladies that she's staying there, and we were talking, and I said, I always love coming to Big Ben because it reminds me of my grandmama, and I miss my grandmama. And then I read this little thing that said how when you're grieving, a lot of times you're really heavy in the morning. It's a feeling that you feel in the morning. And I was like, I wonder if God sent me to Big Bend to feel connected to my grandmama. And I think that's exactly what happened. I went out there and it was so silent, so quiet. You could hear your heartbeat. And I felt just a peace. I was a little scared one time because we went outside in the dark to take Elmo to the bathroom, and he growled, and I held butt back into the camper. Been not scared of people, but animals, javelinas are mean. So I was talking to this lady, and she said, life, sometimes you have to, she said, think of all the things and all the memories of life, and I put them in shoe boxes and or times or whatever. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong because she said it so well. But she takes the box out every now and then, and she opens it up, and she just looks and, sometimes cries, laughs, whatever it is. Then she puts everything back in the box. This is mental, image. And then she puts it back on the shelf. And for me, that's a book because I love to read. And so I put things in books. And hold on. So I like to think of it as books. And, some stories you pull back out and you look at them and you read through them, or a journal, and then you close it and you put those feelings to rest and you move on. So don't worry about being sad. Don't worry about being lonely. Deal with those feelings. Sit in them sometimes. It's good for you. Have a good day. What is it? You don't like that guy? I'm stopped at a construction site, or stopped at a construction road site, and obviously Elmo is not a fan of the guy with the stop sign. Okay, I am at the Pecos River, real close to the border. Actually, I'm going to show y'all where the border is. Here are 3 things I learned about myself in the 3 days that I went all the way to West Texas and stayed a day, and all the way back. Literally, the trip to there and back is about 15 hours. Right? Yeah. Maybe more. Actually, I think it's today. I've been driving since 11, and I will be home at 8 o'clock. And I have yet to get out of Texas. But the 3 things I learned is, 1, when you can't hear anything else, you can hear your heartbeat. And you remember that you're alive and you have a purpose. 2, doing things that scare the crap out of you makes you bolder. 3,